Ted O'Brien is the shadow Treasury spokesperson for the federal opposition. I spoke with Ted O'Brien and asked him, look, what is it about the new financial year? Why are these things going up significantly, does the opposition say?
Because that's what's been happening over the last few years. This is a government, you might recall, which promised a $275 reduction in household power bills, and now households across the country are paying up to $1,300 more than what they were promised, and that provides an opportunity for prices to go up further through something called the default market offers. And so prices will go up as high as 9.7% across the country. Queenslanders it'll be lower for them. Small businesses in Queensland, probably about 8.5% increases they will cop this year. So it's only going to get harder.
The federal government made the move to hand out money for what they call cost of living relief. So Anthony Albanese delivered a $300 cost of living relief package to lower the power bill. Does that meet their $275 reduced power price commitment?
No, it doesn't, because it's a one-off. It's a Band-Aid fit. Their commitment was that the $275 reduction, and that was a reduction, based on 2021, 2022 figures, would be forevermore. So in other words, Australians should be paying about $1,300 less is the upper end, forevermore, compared to what they are today. So it is a broken promise. And unfortunately, Steve, it's only getting worse. I mean, there is no serious commentator suggesting that energy prices are coming down. They continue to go up. Relief is welcome, by the way, but let's not kid ourselves. That relief from government is being put on the credit card. It is coming now as debt. That's the credit cards that our kids will have to pay off. And really, it's just mopping up the mess of Australia's energy system created by the government.
At a state level, the previous state Labor government here absolutely got a fire hose out and poured money on cost of living issues like the rise in power with $1,000 cost of living allowance or rebate, whatever term you care to use. That's now ended. Should the new LNP state government consider some sort of cost of living relief for power bills?
I think the focus for the state government, whether it be the old state government, or the current state government, is to deal with the cause, not the symptom, and that should be the same with the federal government. The cause is we have a lack of supply, and we have an imbalance in the system at the moment in terms of where energy comes from. That needs to be tackled. Otherwise, Steve, every single year, all we'll be doing is putting more debt on our kids' credit cards to mop up a failed system. The system itself has failed. And I think the state LNP are doing a good job. Their initial moves of ensuring that coal plants continue working, pouring more gas into the system is absolutely right. And I think they've also made some smart decisions with respect to hydrogen.
What's your take on the warning by the Australian Competition Consumer Commission that there's an East Coast gas shortfall problem and it's going to hit this year? Gas directly affects the cost of electricity. What does your side of politics see as the solution to this, Ted O'Brien?
Well, it's of no surprise. These warnings have now been coming for a few years. The federal Labor government has failed to act. We are going to see shortfalls, and you're right, it impacts the price of electricity. You don't use a lot of gas in your electricity, really, especially on the East Coast, but gas often sets the price. And so the more gas you have, the price of gas comes down and the price of electricity can be moderated. The other big impact is businesses. Businesses really do need a lot of gas. The more energy intensive you are, the more you need it. And as gas prices go up, our companies, their prices to consumers end up going up and they become less competitive internationally. I think the big thing we need first and foremost is more supply. That means we need to get more gas out of the ground. We need to take it to where it's needed. So that also means investment in infrastructure. Of course, at a federal level, the coalition is still reviewing its policies, but the policy we took to the last election was all about increasing supply and ensuring there's sufficient diversion of gas that would otherwise go to export cargo to the domestic market. So basically, you put Australians first, Australian gas for Australians first. That was our policy a couple of months ago, all under review. Labor was in denial. Labor said green hydrogen can replace gas. They know now, I think, the truth. That will not happen. Shortfalls are at risk. Prices are at risk. The lights might go out. Businesses might close. It's now incumbent on the Labor government to act. And I'm really concerned. I mean, I'm concerned about prices, right? That hurts everyone today. But I think there's a bigger issue here. And that is just Australia is becoming a far poorer nation and a weaker nation with our economy. If we can't get energy right, then there will come a point of no return where we will just forevermore become a poorer country. We'll lose our competitiveness, which is why it has to be gotten right.
Finally, on the issue of green hydrogen that you mentioned, the largest green hydrogen project in Australia was here in Queensland, and it's now been scrapped. Chris Bowen blamed the LNP at a state level here for not putting in money to match federal money into that project, although it looks like it collapsed because of the cost or price. What's your position on the green hydrogen project? What's your thinking as to why it has collapsed or hasn't gone ahead, Ted O'Brien?
Steve, I do think it's purely just the price point. It's too costly. The coalition, the Liberal National Party, we're completely agnostic when it comes to technologies. So we've got no problem with hydrogen itself. But the reality is you've got to make sure it's commercial. It is not commercial. And this is why Chris Bowen and the Labor Party have been la-la land, thinking that they can close down gas, replace it with green hydrogen. But lo and behold, as the experts have said, as the engineers and economists have said, green hydrogen is not commercially scalable today. Therefore, it cannot be relied upon. You rely upon it too much, then you put at risk Australia's energy security and the household power bills and that of businesses.
I'll leave it there. Ted O'Brien, thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time, Steve. All the best.